This is a Boulder by Ultimate Guard. This isn't. For longtime viewers of the channel, you know I am a fan of the Boulder. I have many boulders. As you can see, it's a bit of a problem. I can build things with them. So when I found out about the Bastion, I knew I had to check it out. And I was even more excited when Gamegenic offered to send me a few for review. Now, to be clear, I did receive these for free from Gamegenic. Though my opinions here are my own, Gamegenic did not have any influence over them, but you should know that I did receive these for free. Also, why am I holding my mic like this? Well, apparently it's a trend here on YouTube to hold your mic in this weird way where you hold it off the handle. I feel kind of dorky holding it like this. Yeah, this is much better. Now I feel like a comedian at an open mic night. Moving on. The Bastion 100 Plus XL is almost in every way a spiritual successor to the Boulder, as much as an inanimate object can have a spiritual successor. Originally, my plan was to not compare these two to each other, but I kept finding myself comparing it to the Boulder every time I wanted to talk about it. And really, it makes sense because the designer of the Boulder is also the designer of the Bastion. So when I say that the Bastion is the spiritual successor to the Boulder, I'm not kidding. Seriously, this box was designed to improve upon this design by the person who designed it. And that's also the reason why I am not including the Prism in this video. I'm not going to be comparing the BCW Prism to the Gamegenic Bastion, except in one key area, which you'll see later. If you're at all familiar with boulders, you'll notice right away that the Bastion does not have the same soft touch finish that the boulders do. Yeah, that's that thing that makes it kind of blurry and fuzzy where you can't quite see through the box. Well, that was a conscious decision by Gamegenic. One of the downsides to that soft touch finish is after a while it starts to peel away. It doesn't matter how gentle you are with the box, it's just going to happen. The corners and edges will start to peel of the soft touch edge on your boulder. It doesn't really functionally affect the boulder at all, it just doesn't look as nice. The Bastion, on the other hand, won't have that problem. You'll be able to see right through it, it's nice and clear, and that's another reason why they decided to not go with the soft touch, because they wanted you to be able to see the cards within the box. A lot of people like to see their commander, or they like to see their favorite card when they look at their box. They don't want to see just a fuzzy, blurry version of it. That's why they went with no soft touch, and it's clear. Now, you can get different colors, obviously, but it's still clear and you can see fairly well through the box. The materials of the Bastion are exactly the same as the Boulder. There is one key difference, that the walls of the Bastion are I believe 0.5 millimeter thicker on all sides than the Boulder. It also theoretically makes it stronger. And a quick clarification on that statement, I said that the walls are 0.5 millimeter thicker. While that is true in some places in the Bastion, all of the walls are thicker than the Boulder, but the thickness ranges from 10% to 30% thicker all around the box. So all the walls are thicker, and in some places it's up to 0.5 millimeter thicker. Overall, it's 10 to 30% thicker in the box as a whole. The other thing I like about this box is they ship it with a sticker that fits perfectly right over that little spot that says Gamegenic on top of the box. So if you have this in a box like an archive or a dungeon, but you still want to be able to see what deck it is right away, you can just put the sticker on there and label it whatever you want. Now, I mentioned before that one of the reasons they didn't use the soft touch was that you could see your cards better. Well, another thing they did, they made sure that one side of the box was completely unobstructed by the closure. So you can put your commander here, you could put your favorite card here, and you can see it in its full glory. Now, in terms of the sizing of the box, they're fairly similar with just one key difference. The width and the height are almost identical. The Bastion is just a shade bigger than the Boulder. We're talking fractions of a millimeter here, but the depth, that is where there is a difference. As you can see here, the depth is drastically different. The Bastion has about 1 centimeter, maybe 11 millimeters deeper than the Boulder. And it shows because it can fit an entire double-sleeved commander deck easily. And in my testing, I was able to get 120 double-sleeved cards into my Bastion. And for comparison, here are two Bastions. One has a double-sleeved commander deck, and this one has a single-sleeved commander deck. So you can see you could fit a lot of cards in this box. And that brings us to the closure. Now, boulders have historically been a little finicky in the opening and shutting of them. You can do it one of two ways. You can hold it in front of you, put your thumbs on the top, and crack it open, or you can crack it open like an egg, like I like to do. But that gets more difficult the more cards that are in the box. If you have a boulder that is completely full of cards packed in there, it's a little bit harder to open because you're essentially pushing against the cards to get it open. Where the Bastion fixes that. As you can see, the hinge point is up near the back corner. So if you do pack it full of cards, it really doesn't matter. You still can rock it back. You just hold the bottom, push in this Gamegenic logo, and rock the lid back. But my favorite way to open it, and probably the easiest way to open it, is to pinch the sides. If you just pinch the sides of the box, it comes right open very easily. The boulder has 4 latch points, nubs essentially, that hold the lid on, 2 on each side, whereas the Bastion has 8, so it has 4 on each side. Now, what can fit in this? Well, as I said before, 120 double-sleeved cards at least, and just extrapolate that for single-sleeved and unsleeved cards. This box can hold a lot of cards if you want it to. And something I really like about how the pinch point is on the sides to open the box is that it doesn't matter how many cards you jam into this sucker, you still can get the lid off very easily. As long as you're putting cards in from front to back and you're not slotting them in the sides like some cave person, it doesn't matter how many cards you shove in here. The width of the cards is never going to change. You will be able to pinch it open. This addresses my problem with the Prism. The Prism is BCW's answer to the Boulder, and it is a great box. It's strong, it's sturdy, it's a good box with a pretty big flaw. If you jam it full of cards, completely full of cards, it becomes almost impossible to open. The point is to pinch the sides to lift the lid off. And if the box is full of cards, the cards won't let you pinch the sides. So you can't get enough room inside so the nubs will let go and the lid will come off. Now, to be fair, it can fit a double-sleeved commander deck fine. As long as you don't pack it with too many cards, you should be okay. But that is kind of a flaw, but the Bastion solves it. It makes an easy to open closure that doesn't care how many cards are in the box to open it. I just wanted to jump in real quick because something funny just happened while I was recording B-roll for this video. I was recording the shot of putting cards in the side here to make the joke about, you know, as long as you're not putting cards in the side, then this thing will be easy to open. So I fit as many cards as I could in the side, and then I closed the Bastion and I couldn't pinch it open. I had a really hard time. In fact, to open it, I had to open it by pushing the Bastion logo here, the Gamegenic logo on the Bastion here. That was the only way I could get it to open. So yeah, it's actually kind of funny. If you do stick cards on the side, along the side of the other cards, yeah, it makes it really hard to open. So maybe don't do that. We've talked about what can fit in here, but we didn't talk about what it can fit in. And that's pretty easy. Pretty much anything a boulder can fit in, this can fit in. There's very few things I can think of that this won't fit where a boulder already fits. Even with the more depth, it fits well. In fact, Gamegenic went so far to design this to fit perfectly in the dungeon, the 1100 plus and the 550 plus. These will fit in an Archive 800 plus, though you'll only be able to get 6 in there and there'll be some extra room. This fits better within the Gamegenic ecosystem, but that just makes sense. Now, another thing that's great about the Bastion is not only does it fit in larger deck boxes like the Archive and perfectly in the dungeon, but a ton of stuff fits in it perfectly. For example, Gamegenic's brand new sliding card cases, or a product I'm really excited about, the brand new Cube Pockets. Yeah, Gamegenic has come out with their own version of the Cubamajig, and I'm really excited. These also were sent to me by Gamegenic. These are card packs that can hold a draft pack or a jumpstart pack. They come pre-folded, which is very nice. The closure is easy to manipulate. You can open it up very easy and then put it back. Fairly simple as well. I need 2 hands for this. Yes, you need 2 hands to do it easily, but it works fairly well. It even has a little extra nub here, so that way you can slide it in, so you know it's shut and works great. It also has a space on the top and the side, so you can write what is in here if you want to do that, and they fit in the Bastion. And these are hard to see on camera without a card in them. These are Gamegenic's answer to snap cases that you can get from other manufacturers, and they fit in the Bastion. Something to know about the slide card cases, you can fit cards with perfect fits in here, but you can't use Dragon Shield, Ultimate Guards, Cortex, or Katanas will not fit in these slide card cases, but a card in a perfect fit will. I also want to let you know I did check the Cube Pocket and the sliding card case will not fit in a Boulder, but they do fit in the Bastion, so be aware of that. So yeah, I do think the Bastion improved upon the Boulder. Does that mean I'm going to stop buying Boulders? Well, just like I said in my Prism review video, no. I really like Boulders, and I'll probably keep getting them because I just like the aesthetic. But I really like the Bastion too. I will probably continue buying Bastions going forward, especially if they come out with smaller sizes. It's also great to see Gamegenic coming out with other products, so they're continuing to innovate and try to find improvements on existing accessories in the space. And I'm excited to see that they also are being mindful of how these accessories work together. For example, the Cube Pockets and the slider cases can go into the Bastion, and the Bastion fits perfectly in the Dungeon 1100 Plus and the Dungeon 550 Plus. It's just great to see when a company just tries to make their entire ecosystem work. It's a great concept, and more companies should do it. Just a quick reminder, you can find me on Threads at FDS_MTG. You can also find me on Mastodon at FDSMTGkind.social or something like that. You should search for me, FDSMTG. I'm sure you'll find me. Also, a reminder that I'm a Monarch Media Community Ambassador, so be sure to check them out. They're on YouTube, Monarch Media YT. They're on Twitter, Monarch Media TW. They run CEDH events, and they're a great group of folks, so you should check them out. They also are doing LotusCon in October. Be sure to check that out. It's going to be a great event. And speaking of events, I'm going to MagicCon Las Vegas. Yeah, I didn't think I was going to go, and then I was able to. So it's going to be fun. I'm excited. So if you see me, say hi. Also, I want to thank the sponsor of this video, MTech Cave. Check out the links in the description down below. They have a lot of great products, especially check out their card drawers and their hobby organizational products. They're fantastic. They even make a set of drawers that fit perfect in the IKEA Kallax thingy thing. It's really cool. You should go check it out. And also, if you use the link in the description down below, you'll get a 5% discount, and it helps out the channel, and I appreciate it. You also can use the code FDS at checkout. So be sure to check out MTech Cave. Thank you so much for watching. You all have a wonderful day.